everyone, Kelly here. Today I'm going to be doing my ghost hunting experiences. This one was with Haunted Happenings. It was 9 till 5 AM in the morning. So I said this was at Warwick Castle. We have always, and I mean always, wanted to go here to investigate because we've heard quite a few good things about it. So first of all, you get there and you do the meet and greet in the base room where you can keep your bags and where you can get coffee and so forth. And then we got split into groups. No, we didn't. First of all, we had a walk around with the medium, and the medium was picking up on quite a few things in most of the rooms. And in one room it did get really cold at one point. When we first went in there, it was boiling hot and it went really cold, like icy cold. So we had a walk around and like the medium was picking up on things, and then we got back to the base room and we got split up again with the people who wanted to do the workshop that hadn't, and the people that have already done the workshop, like we've been on loads. So we've already done the workshop. I think there was about 8 or 9 of us, maybe a bit more. And we went, where did we go round with? Did we go round with the medium again? Yeah, we went round with the medium again, and we went down this one place, and he put his torch on the side and it kept flickering on and flickering off, so it'd turn all the way on, all the way off, but it was a turn one, so you had to turn it for it to come on. And I've seen this before. They'd place it and then somebody, a spirit, turns it on, but this one, it was like kept flashing. It was asking for things to happen, taps and so forth, but it didn't want to. All it wanted to do was play with the torch. So we had the torch on and off all the time. I think there were 2 women in there, and then some soldiers, I think he said, came down there at the end, and then also a little girl. And then we went into this other room and we was holding hands, and I think it was a library, and we was holding hands. There was all mannequins around us, which was freaky. We was all holding hands and was asking for the spirit to push us or raise our hands. At one point I was swaying back and forth. Philip went the once, he went straight the way forward. Another bloke fell back. Then all of a sudden, me and this bloke, our arms started raising. They was right up in the air, which always happens to me. I've always got my hands in the air. I don't know why it picks on me. But I forgot to mention in my Alton Towers one, this also happened with the hand raising. One point, me and this girl, like, the medium bloke kept saying, leave the girls alone, and the more he said it, the more our hands were raising up and down. It was going back, almost bending our arms, and at one point we was just like holding hands, swaying up and down. That was at Alton Towers. Now on to this one. So our hands were raising. I can't remember if they went back or not. I'm sure they went down and then they started raising again. And then my other arm with Philip, that was raising, and then it went backwards, and yes, that kills when it does that. So about the dogs, are just in a cat. And then a few other people were getting pushed and their arms also raising. There was a few knocks in the room. I think that's all that happened then. Come on girls, let's go on. And then, so that's all that happened in that room. Like I said, there's a few knocks, but I couldn't hear it, but the ones further back could hear it happening. And then we then got split up into groups. I think there's about 8 of us in each group. We first went into this one place, and it was like a barn kind of place. And in this place, the table was rocking like anything, and Philip was coming out with things which I never heard before. He was coming out with names, he was coming out with dates, he was coming out loads of things, woman dressed in something and so forth. It was like he was becoming a medium the way he was talking, and the table was agreeing with him. So everything Philip said was correct, so I don't know where he was getting all that information from, which is a bit freaky. But yeah, the table was going really, really mad. Somebody had their bum pinched, somebody had their hand stroked, and at one point you could feel a breeze all the way across your hands. That's all that really, really happened in there. It was just the table going mad. And then we went to this other room. I was saying, we went into this other room, and it was like full of glass, so you had to be careful you didn't walk straight into the glass. It was like a house of mirrors or something. And we was doing like a sit and wait to begin with, and you could hear dragging, and then like different knocks, dragging, and then people could hear like whispering. And then we had to go with the Ouija board, and somebody came through to do with the girl, but it wasn't making any sense, and she didn't want to speak to it because it wasn't making any sense at all. And then it was time for our free time. So me and Philip grabbed a Ouija board. We went into the glass and mirrors, or whatever it was called, and it was like a maze of mirrors. It was freaky, and everywhere you look you could see yourself in the mirror. That made you jump, because you thought it was a spirit and it was yourself. It's like, oh. We took a Ouija board, and I think, yeah, Philip's uncle came through again, but just to say hello again, like he usually does, hello, and then he'd go straight to goodbye. And then a relation of mine, it's on my mum's side, so I think it was my mum's cousin. She died, well, I don't know, about three years ago now, of cancer. First of all, it kept spelling out chemo, and then I said, can you spell out the first letter of your name? And it went to L. So it was Lynn. Her name was Linda, but they called her Lynn. She died of cancer, like I said, about 3 years ago, and then she kept going. She got a message. I said, it's a message for me, and it went to no. It's a message for my mum, no. Dad, no. Sister, no. Went through them all. I said, is it a message for the family? And it went straight to yes. I said, can you spell out the initial of the message you want me to tell it to? And it went straight to G. This is one of my cousins. And I said, is it so forth? And she went, yes. I said, can you give me the message then? And it spelt out pence. Now, I do not know what the hell that means, pence. But yeah, I have yet to see her to tell her the message, but I will do. I bet she doesn't know what that means either, but she might do. I don't know. But yeah, it just spelt out pence. And then by the time we did all that, it was time to go. So we went back, and then we went into our groups again, and we went into this chapel. And K2 was going crazy, and they also put a torch on the floor, the one that turns, that kept turning on and off. And then we asked for it to be kicked to the torch. It wasn't like across the room, but it was moving across the room. You could see it. The K2 meet was going mad, and then we heard a few knocks. books. So we went round there and like holded hands and did a little seance, but we couldn't hear them anymore. And then we went into the last one. By the time it was getting really, by the way, we had breaks in between every single thing that I just said, and it was becoming light. I think it was 4:30 and it was starting to become light. So we went up into this one room in the bedroom and we did the Ouija board, and lo and behold, my granddad came through again just to tell me that I shouldn't be having second thoughts and I should be having IVF again. And then Philip's uncle came through and he stayed on a bit longer this time, so he was asking him all different kinds of questions, which was really, really nice. And then another girl around the table, I think one of her relations came through. It's really, really nice when you get relations come through on the Ouija board, but sometimes you just want people to come through that are connected with the building, because you want to learn more about them. But it's great when people do come through that have followed you there or come with you. Yeah, that was a great night. And also we did another we didn't do a Ouija board, we did glass moving at Warwick Castle, and in this one place I think a couple of people came through for people, and then they asked if there's anybody else here and they went straight to me, and what did it say? It said it was female, which stunned me a bit because there's only 2 people that have passed, which I know, and the one never comes through. It's always the male that comes through. So I was a bit shocked and I thought, oh, it's probably this Lynn. So I said, is this Lynn? And it went to no. And then I just said, is this Nan? And it went straight to yes. Now this totally shocked me because my Nan passed away, I think it was 2 years before my granddad, and she's never come through. It's always been granddad that's come through. Me and Nan, we had a relationship, but it wasn't close. Me and my granddad, I had a better relationship with my granddad and we was more closer. But with Nan, I have got an older sister, and yes, my older sister was the first, and you know, it was her favourite basically. And when I was growing up and so forth, you could tell my sister was her favourite. But yeah, she always took my sister's side on everything, but I won't get into all that. Yeah, we were close, but we weren't close. There was a bit of but yeah, it's families for you, innit? But me and Grandad were much closer, and Grandad see the other side of somebody, which he said if Nan could see, you know, if Nan could see now, she would have changed her mind. Well, not changed her mind, but had a different opinion. But yeah, anyway, going off that, she came through and I said, have you got a message for me? And it went to yes. I said, can you spell it out on the table? And it spelled out I. Then it went L-O-V-E. Then it went Y-O-U. I love you. I said, is this right? I love you. And it went straight to yes. I think Philip said, oh, you didn't. And it went no. And then it went I did. And it went to yes. And what else? Come on then. I asked, is Roxy with you? Roxy, our little dog, she hated dogs, she was terrified of them. I said, is Roxy with you? It went straight to yes, and it went straight back to the middle. I then asked, do you like Roxy? Like I said, she was afraid of dogs. It just kept doing that. It wouldn't go to yes and no. It was just moving slightly for not sure. So you knew definitely it was her. I don't know why she come through. Maybe she has seen another side to somebody else. Not saying any names. But yeah, just say I'm not the selfish one. Just put it that way. But yeah, a great night. Love that night. Loads of messages coming through which were excellent. Yeah, it was just a great night. And then when we came downstairs, it was light as anything. We went out and it was like we was driving in the middle of the afternoon. It was that light. It was that light we couldn't even sleep when we got back to the travel lodge. I have rambled on a bit in this video. It's probably because I've got a cold. I'm full up. Half the time I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm going on and on and on. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this. Stay tuned for the next one, which was an amazing night. And I have got some footage. So keep your eyes open for that one. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. Take care, and I will see you in my next video. Take care.